Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel for another video. I almost said to the video for another channel. Thank you guys for clicking on the video. We had written down in the stream the other day a ton of video ideas, so I do have a lot of video ideas. Today we did not stream. I spent most of the day just kind of away from the stream and it was a good day. It was a good day. But I want to make sure I get another upload for you guys tonight. Not just to get an upload, but actually because I do want to make an upload talking about some of this stuff. We do not have a Rat to Glory tonight. To you guys that watched that series, I love you guys, man. Thank you guys for supporting that, man. It's so fun. And it's crazy to see, man. We are seeing growth, man, on the channel, guys, that I haven't seen almost ever, even in peak months. I mean, it's comparable with peak months, guys. It really is right now, the support on the YouTube channel. And even the live streams, man, numbers-wise. To be having these crazy, crazy numbers. I don't need to flex it on you guys, man, but I really appreciate it, boys. It's kind of crazy, man. It's kind of crazy for me to see, and it makes me very happy as a content creator that I've done something that is really fun for both of us, which I like a lot because it genuinely is fun for me, the Rat series. Tonight, guys, I have an upload. We're going to be talking and reacting to a couple of the things that EA have responded with today. EA kind of did something today they've never done, and I want to make sure we get a video out of it. I want you guys to see on YouTube some of their responses. Now, EA have a Twitter, EA FIFA Direct, and they also have a EA Sports FIFA Twitter. I don't follow either of these Twitters. Now, the reason I don't follow these Twitters, two reasons, right? One, I don't like EA. Two, I don't like what EA says. I don't like the way that EA does everything. It's a lot of business-oriented stuff. But it was brought to my attention today by one of my viewers that EA were going to be doing a Q&A on their Twitter. Now, they've never done this, so this is actually... this is a step in the right direction. I'm not going to just sit here and be negative to be negative. This is a great step, man. EA, you guys should do this more, man. EA's Madden team does a weekly live stream talking to the community, and they give updates of what's going on in the game. We don't really have much like this at all. So yeah, this is good. I would love to see more of this. So EA said today we'll be having a gameplay developer Q&A on this channel to help answer any questions from yesterday's pitch notes deep dive. Also, my mic might sound a little different. It's all complicated. My mic stand is a little messed up, and I don't even have my PlayStation in this room right now. So my mic stand is actually like on my PlayStation. It's just weird, but. Anyways, if the mic sounds a little different, I kind of tested it before. I think it sounds good, but apologies. This tells me I need to get a new mic anyways. That's a side tangent we don't need to talk about. So we're going to go through. We're going to talk about some of the things today that I feel like are important. And obviously, if you guys enjoy the video throughout, drop a thumbs up. Guys, let me know right now, like in this video, what are your early thoughts on FIFA 21? Just put a comment down below saying you're excited, you're not excited, and just your honest feelings about what you've heard so far. We don't know too much. Just to give you guys two quick dates. Tomorrow, we're going to be opening weekly rewards for a Rats account. I will tweet it out. So follow my Twitter. I will tweet it out within at least an hour notice of when we're going live. So you guys don't have to miss that. And secondly, August 10th is when we're getting news on FIFA Ultimate Team. And then the FIFA 20 beta, I'll talk about that in another video. It should be dropping on the 20th. We did these dates in the stream yesterday. So first question is from Adham. He says, does manual headers apply only for attacking situations shown in the Lukaku example, or does it apply for defensive too? Manual headers apply to all passing and shooting headers. Clearances without prioritizing the ball as fast as the ball. I mean, that's good. Clearances should not be manual with heading. So that's something that is good. A lot of this is gameplay-based, guys. I don't really want to talk about this right here. Has the default depth been increased? As in how far the defense sits back on one depth because it's way too deep. Has drop back been removed and come back on defense instructions? Now, before I even read their answer, I haven't read any of these answers yet. I really haven't. That is not going to like EA's never going to remove drop back or come back on defense. They're not. They like to implement a certain level of realism into FIFAs. So I don't think they're ever going to get rid of that. They have responded saying we've spent a lot of time tuning all of the tactics, including drop back, to provide a fresh experience. So again, this is not an answer to the question. They have not answered anything. Their counter argument to that thought of mine is that they don't want to leak their new game or anything about their new game before they're allowed to or before they are planning to. But in my opinion, this is a weak answer. And I'm going to try to keep this video very fact-based, man. I know sometimes with you guys know I'm very passionate, man. I'm very passionate about FIFA. I'm very passionate about my community. I'm very passionate about the truth, man, with a lot of this stuff. I'm going to just try to speak facts today. Not too much emotion. Not that I am emotional, but not get carried away with my own narrative or things that I really want with a video game. Kind of talking about what's right, what's wrong, what do we know, and what is bullshit. What has been done to improve passing so that good passers play the ball into space the attackers are running into? Now, besides the passing into run areas, passing is just atrocious this year in general. I mean, that's a fact. Passing this year is not good. We've worked on the pass openness concept, which allows for great passers to explore more spaces, extend the field, and open up play. We don't want passing to be too assisted, as this will make interceptions too difficult. So that last sentence is about having a balance. How effective will AI blocks be? Basically, how much will defending success be based on manual player input with positioning and tackles? This is a very good point. This is why PES is a really solid game, because the PES AI is not on the level of the FIFA AI. And this is why some of the best FIFAs have featured times when the AI has been least effective, because you get this feeling. And the addiction with a football game, and this is why I feel like FIFA 20 is addicting for people because of the menu concept and the card collecting and FOMO concept. But the addiction with a pure football game stems from the concept of scoring a goal that is super rewarding because you knew that you saw the opponent's defense or the player the opponent selected being dragged out of position, or you had outsmarted them, outwitted them in a situation, not the computer, right? That is why most people don't like squad battles and people prefer online gameplay. But this year, online gameplay is very CPU assisted, and that's why it's very boring. So the EA responded saying the blocking animation coverage is bigger for manual players than AI control players. Now, this is a good sign. The new system makes blocking more accurate in terms of predicting where the ball is going, allowing more reliable blocking based on player personality. The problem with this is there's two things, right? EA is not too clear here because they said they were going to do a straightforward Q&A. They were going to come out and say clear answers. This is the problem, right? They've kind of said that the manual is greater than the AI, but to what extent? Like, what is the extent that the manual is better than the AI? And again, we don't really have an answer here. So that's not, it's not a good answer to the question. I would like for them to say more there. From reading the pitch notes, I didn't see a deep dive on information relating to changes in shooting and finishing. Besides the finesse shot rework and manual heading, will you be changing finishing and goalkeeper ability in any way? Multiple improvements were made to shooting and goalkeepers, including near-post shot coverage for goalkeepers and more personality impact when shooting. Now, so what is interesting about what EA is saying a lot in their narrative of these tweets is that they're saying a lot of things about player personalities. So that's going to be interesting going forward. Maybe they've brought more player personalities into the game. What I do hope is that it's not all reliant on the player's personality or the personality of the player. Rather, the shooting is more consistent and better overall. Now, near post is super consistent in FIFA 20. So to be honest, it's one of the first times we've really had a consistent finishing meta. It is very consistent to shoot near post in FIFA 20, which is not a bad thing as even though it is very much not balanced with the far post. The near post is way better this year. And, at least we have consistent finishing in one area, even though I hate it. This again is not too good. I do like that goalkeeper's gonna cover it better because there's times the goalkeepers in the near post this year don't do anything. But the problem is, man, I'm gonna say this just as a fact. You don't want goalkeepers to be too overpowered in a football game. It drives people crazy, man. Take us back to times like Jack Butland. Certain traits with keepers like saves with FIFA made Team of the Year De Gea last year just like crazy. So you don't want to watch out with that. Is player personality decided by select elite players or based on stats? Player personality is an attribute-driven system, and it's not based on the name of the player. In general, multiple attributes are used to determine how good a player is. Specific actions such as shooting or passing. Okay, this is where I briefly saw this, and I wanted to talk about this with you guys because a lot of my viewers today were adding me, and a couple other creators. I think Inception and Kurt specifically, who I think are two other creators that have talked about DDA a lot, even though we joke around about it. Look, guys, DDA is quite an interesting thing. If you guys don't know already, I say DDA a lot. The DDA is dynamic difficulty adjustment. A lot of games have this in the game. I wouldn't say a ton of online games have it. It's not necessarily scripting. It's just kind of like, there's so many definitions of it. It's a manipulation in a way where it's not necessarily a preset outcome, but there's certain sliders and percentages that can happen along as the game is going, right? So if X and Y happen, or if X is losing to Y by Z amount, then W can happen, right? Then W can make the game harder or easier. So to give you guys an example, a lot of you guys, man, and this is where I get a little confused, right? If any of my viewers who watch this video, the easy answer is that DDA is real, I hate EA, or DDA is not real, you just suck at the game and you're using DDA or momentum as an excuse for why you lost. These are the only two things I see. Look, my standpoint on it, it's in the game. Like, you notice this in the game, and here's the thing: there are a lot of pros that say it's in the game, and that's to an extent. This is where the skill gap should be highest. So this is where, I mean, these guys are going to notice this at the highest level more often than not. So I personally think it's in the game. I think the best way you can look at DDA to be in FIFA is if you go and play squad battles, man. Squad battles has so many sliders, and it's so weird because some games you'll play against an 83 rated team, 100 chemistry, they'll play like crap, and then you'll play against a 70 rated team with 45 chem, and you can't score. You hit the post 6 times. There's certain things that are happening in the game. Your touches get bad. Now, why does FIFA 20 and why does FIFA 19, these 2 years specifically, feel like it's a DDA fest times 500,000 every game? There is a reason for this. In my opinion, there is preset DDA things that are going on in the game. Look, EA have the patent to it. Now, EA have already done a whole thing, and I did a video on this last year about DDA. I talked about DDA, man. I did a whole video on it last year. They released a thread. They did it all. They came out and basically said, we don't have DDA in the game. But after they came out with this post, everybody who was commenting on it got blocked, and they closed the forum down. So, you know, it's a super weird one. All they said was it's not in the game. EA do own the they did get the application to they own the dynamic difficulty adjustment. There's tons of things in this thing that kind of talk about things that could be happening in FIFA. It doesn't say FIFA specifically. It doesn't say it specifically. You know, EA do own some games that are probably maybe a couple mobile games that have DDA. I mean, companies do use DDA in their games to kind of keep you know, look, an example of DDA is, you guys know when you don't log into an account. I'm going to give you guys a couple examples. When you don't log onto an account for 3 months and then you do your second 81 plus pack and somebody gets Team of the Year Ronaldo, or you log onto your account every single day and you play 6 hours a day and your pack luck is not as good. These are preset sliders that can fit under the terms of the term DDA. And essentially DDA is a million things, right? It could be a retention tool. Companies could use it to try to get the players to play as much as possible. Maybe Billy, who hasn't played Weekend League in 3 months, who gets Weekend League and, you know, is struggling in the Weekend League, gets some more help from the DDA system from EA to win an extra couple games, so he comes back and plays more next weekend. At the end of the day, EA want to get as many users as they can on the game. So I personally think it is in FIFA. You guys know, man, you guys have seen millions of gameplays of me playing and rage clips and other creators where it's just been horribly obvious. One thing I will say before we go back to this, man, PK is a Twitter that I wanted to bring into this video. This is a clip that I had retweeted a couple of months ago, and this, in my opinion, so I mean, you have there's things in FIFA like gameplay inconsistencies, right? The tackling system is broken, the finishing is questionable. None of the things in FIFA currently are super consistent. But there are times and things like this clip that I think a lot of you guys watch and wonder how is EA to this day still saying that there's no DDA in the game. Right, I've played PES, and PES is like the only other football game that I can really go off of totally comparing. And PES just doesn't really have stuff like this. Like, PES has gameplay inconsistencies. I'll tell you guys that. There is stuff like that in PES that is inconsistent, right? Where you tackle the ball and you should win it, but it only happens once. And the worst part is that in FIFA, there's a million things where you can hit the post 6 times, you can't win a tackle, your opponent tackles once, he wins the tackle. And there's too many things going on in this game that it's a mix of DDA, gameplay inconsistencies, bad servers, horrible gameplay delay. But when all these come together, it seems like a crock pile, and everybody says that's tons of DDA. But again, I do think DDA is in the game. I totally think it's in the game. I think you can't watch a clip like this and say that this is just inconsistent gameplay. No, bro, there's no way, man. So, I mean, going back to what EA was saying, as mentioned before, they said there's no scripting, handicap, momentum, and or DDA in the game. We'll try to summarize details in this thread. Now, I think what's really interesting is that, just to say this, and it doesn't mean anything, but EA, out of all the questions they did today, this is the question that literally has over 1,000 replies to it, man. So, a lot of people, man, believe in this thing. And it's like, it comes to that point where it's like, there's no way that there's this many crazy people. There's no way that there's this many people like me that bug out when something like this is happening. I'll take a loss on the chin. If somebody beats my ass, so be it, bro. I should have lost the game. But it's not just that, right? And it gets It gets way deeper than that sometimes, and we all know that. We play this game. So they say we build a football simulation by implementing the different concepts of football. These concepts include an error system and a physics system which bring a variety and authenticity to the game. When recreating the details of football, all real-life outcomes are possible. Every year, we are actively trying to reduce situations in the game that feel random and outside of the user control. The problem that I have with this statement, saying a fact, this is not emotional, this year, right, compared to last year, in my eyes, this year has way more DDA in this year's game. The weird stuff that I've seen this year via my gameplay, my friends' gameplays, my other creators' gameplays, my viewers' gameplays, it's weird. There's a lot of weird stuff this year where we're seeing more games that have less shots for one guy than ever and winning than ever. We're seeing more posts in some games than we've ever seen. We're seeing more stickies than we've ever seen, besides the La Croqueta sticky last year, which was crazy. From a gameplay design perspective, there's absolutely no need to implement systems to influence the outcome of the game artificially. I disagree with this. From a gameplay perspective, a design perspective, I think there's tons of reasons to do something like this, right? Whether, again, we talked about it, packs retention, or, you know, giving somebody good pack luck to make them start playing again. Tons of reasons to do this, man, right? If you know somebody's spending a lot of money every day, why are you going to give them good packs? They're going to spend money anyways. Stuff like that, right? It's deeper than the gameplay. There's pack stuff that goes with all this. Not to mention, also, I don't understand why EA is even like talking about DDA, right? If it was in my game, I would never talk about it, bro. Unless somebody legally like lawsuited me, which I don't have the money to do. A lot of people that are crazy about this topic, we don't got the money to do that, right? To sue EA. I mean, we're talking hundreds and hundreds and thousands of dollars, dude. None of us got that. At least I don't. As explained in the past, the only time our game adjusts the difficulty of the CPU AI is offline only is during the introductory boot up match that determines which offline difficulty is best suited for you. I don't believe it, and that's just that part of this video is my opinion. I don't believe it, bro. There's no way, right? I play 30 games a week. I don't know if these guys play 30 a weekend, bro. It's not just inconsistencies, bro. You know when you're missing a shot. And you know when you're hitting 6 posts in one game from the same angles you've been shooting all weekend and it doesn't go in, right? And it's because that game, that person you're playing, maybe not as good as you, or, you know, X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'll say the alphabet. You name the variable, bro. It's all these variables. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why he's even talking about it, bro. Don't talk about it. You guys don't need to talk about it. Defending for FIFA 21 aims to reward users for performing more manual actions. Lovely to hear. I love to hear that. I can't wait to see it. From tackles to ball blocks, a user-controlled player should have more precision and success compared to an AI teammate. I love to hear it, EA. Bring it on, man. Let's go. Bring me a manual game, bro, so I can pick up my controller again and actually player switch and defend. Defensive shoulder challenges should be more accurate and rewarding. However, to ensure good gameplay balance, we've made improvements to attacking ball shielding with regards to positioning and strength. That's good. Maybe players like Lukaku will be usable again, right? That's good. We improved the tackling system to better position the defender while making a play on the ball. Jockeying allows the defender to track their opponent with the confidence of not being beaten. The balance between dribbling and jockeying is something we'll be monitoring. Secondary contain is a mechanic that is very hard to balance. Yada, yada, yada. The attack positioning attribute is now more impactful. Hallelujah. Right? The one thing that I really like from what EA is bringing with us today is that they're telling us a lot about how attacking and then manual interceptions are going to be better. I hope both of these things are better. Attacking AI this year is brain dead. They don't even know what to do half the time. This is interesting, right? I wanted to talk about this with you guys, man. I don't know if I went through there was a presentation, man. I don't know if it's in this video. I don't think it is in this video. I had a presentation that I had like found and went over it with my viewers last what's it called? Last year. I don't know if I went over it though. But yeah, there's a DDA patent, man. If you guys want to check it out, if you guys are bored, it's on Google. You guys can go look it up. I've gone over this a million times. You guys can go check it out if you guys want. Anyways, though, man, thank you guys for watching the upload tonight, man. Let me know what you guys think for FIFA 21, boys. Bring it on. Drop it in the comments. See you guys in the video. See you guys in the morning for a rewards video. Peace out.